Do you like beer?
Do you like podcasts?
Do you like beer podcasts?
Then check out Crackin' One Open, a podcast about brews, news, and pop culture reviews.
Every week, we crack open a new craft beer from breweries around the country.
And sometimes the world.
We'll talk about how it was made, what's in it, the history of the brew, and the brewery.
Then we'll give our tasting notes, and while we're finishing up, we'll talk about some of the latest goings-on in the world of pop culture.
So check out Crackin' One Open with Mike and Elise, part of the Forgotten Entertainment family.
Hello, and welcome to Recent Activity, your new favorite entertainment review podcast that attempts to cover every film, every show, all at once. I am your co-host, Andrew Morgan. With me, as always, are the legal defense team for Michael Bay's pigeon murder trial. It's Shane Beauregard.
What's up?
And Chris Brodell.
Remember, when flying Recent Activity, there are no exits.
That's true. We're all dead. Oh, God. It's an all-action episode, guys. This is going to be amazing. Chris and I, at least, saw one of Shane's most desperately anticipated things, so this is going to hurt him quite a bit. We are going to cover the Gerard Butler action film Plane, the best titled movie of the year so far. It's very early. We'll see if it gets beaten throughout the year. And then later on in the show, we will do our most anticipated action films in a bunch of fun categories, covering a little bit of the comic book side of it, but also, spread it out and beat people up who aren't in capes. You know what I'm saying? Do the whole thing for this particular episode. So I am really looking forward to this, and I'm sure Shane is as well, outside of hearing a review for a movie that he sadly did not get to see. So I feel bad for you, buddy. I'm rooting for you for the rest of the episode. I hope it cheers you up to talk about things like Guy Ritchie later or something else that brings a smile to your face.
Absolutely.
So let's dive in, man. This is going to be a kooky action here. There's some really big blockbusters, some like amazing high-end IP stuff that we will probably get to in a lot of our categories. But I like the fact that there's still a lot of little movies with medium stars that kind of act as throwbacks to kind of the 80s and 90s Stallone-ish, Arnie kind of things, and that's kind of what Plane is vibing on. This is, of course, like I said, starring Gerard Butler as Captain Brodie Torrance and co-starring Mike Colter, a.k.a. Luke Cage, as Louis Gaspar. The plot is Brodie Torrance saves his passengers from a lightning strike by making a risky landing on a war-torn island, only to find that surviving the landing was just the beginning. When most of the passengers are taken hostage by dangerous rebels, the only person Torrance can count on for help is Louis Gaspar, an accused murderer who is being transported by the FBI. In order to rescue the passengers, Torrance will need Gaspar's help, and we'll learn there's more to Gaspar than meets the eye. Thank God that description only said Gaspar like 4 or 5 times. Let's throw in some more Gaspars. Chris Gaspar, how are you doing? You also saw Plane. It's getting solid reviews, even across like the critic stuff, not just the audiences. But I want to know, what did Chris Gaspar, aka Chris Brodell, think of Plane?
Well, Andrew Gaspar, I will say I really had no idea what I was in for when watching this, but
Same.
With a captivating title like Plane, I was immediately all for it.
Yeah.
I have to see this movie called Plane. And I thought most of the action was going to take place in the air. Foolish me.
Yeah.
It was brought all over the place. It was sort of like a Mission Impossible meets Lost kind of thing.
Except really, really simple.
True.
All that stuff is like so much more heady and like bizarre or sci-fi or some kind of like conspiracy. This is like a survival thing.
But still, there was like information you're given like, a little bit at a time, and you're like, wait a minute, what is going on here? Because I guess this isn't a spoiler, but Gerard Butler is much more than just a pilot.
Sure. Yeah.
Suddenly he's a Marine or or something. It was sort of like Under Siege. It's like, don't underestimate the cook,
Right.
you know?
Well, we see so many of these movies now where it's like, either some guy who has a past that you just woke him up and now he's killing everybody. This wasn't as extreme because it's like he was in the Royal Air Force for a minute. He was in other ops things, but, he's been flying planes for, 20 years. Although my favorite part might have been that, like, video of, like, why he wasn't as such a prominent pilot anymore. Not to spoil it for Shane or anybody else, but like there's a video of him like decking a passenger that's very, very fun. But to me,
they didn't need a marshal.
Yeah,
is what you're
but
alluding to.
Didn't this film just feel like if you swapped out Gerard Butler, you could put in Chuck Norris or somebody else from like that period and just rip people. He didn't like rip people's throats out. He wasn't like that extreme. It was very believable and quote grounded. Sorry, plain, but it was very grounded in terms of like its believability.
It went from Flight with Denzel Washington to
well, he wasn't drunk. All right.
Missing in Action.
Yeah,
Still, it's like it's the grandiose. It's the it's much more than, hey, I have to do this emergency landing,
right?
And now suddenly it turns into survival,
right?
Mode, and I'm just like, I really had no expectations for this film, but then I'm just like, where is it going?
Right.
It surprised me at every turn.
Yeah. And again, it's very enjoyable. The action's good. It's exactly what you think it's going to be when those turns happen, but it's just awesome. Like there's some really cool kills, and the whole like just there's no depth to the villains or anything. It's just we need to not be killed by them, and they want to kill us or they want to take us hostage, and we can't let us do that. It's very, very basic, and I have no problem with that. And I thought they did just enough with Gerard Butler's character's kind of backstory too, to be like, oh, he has something to live for, and scene. Let's get that plane in the air. So which is fine. Again, you don't need this guy to be like some major force of nature. He's basically just Sully, and then he's Chuck Norris, and then he gets back in the air. Being Sully. So it's like, that's all you need.
Sure. Not that I needed like, a complicated plot, but there was a lot of just like liberties taken throughout the, throughout it, where he was just like not what he seemed. He wasn't, just a pilot with a certain set of skills. It was a surprise at every turn to me. There was like little bits of dialogue that alluded to his past and Gaspar's past.
Yeah.
But overall, you're not given enough information where you're like, okay, I get it. You know, that sounds about right. It's just like, okay, mission in action it is.
And every time we say Gaspar, I keep wanting to say Gaston and start doing the Beauty and the Beast song. So I don't know if that just makes me a 40-year-old parent of two. Yeah, with young kids. But I would say before I shift over to Shane to ask him a couple of things, I would say the only thing I thought was a little subtle but understandable was Gaspar's kind of like exit from the scene. And he wasn't much. He was just basically like a help. They didn't dig into him a whole lot. They just kind of like
Foreign Legion, baby.
That's it. Yeah, that's all you need to know. He has a past that's well trained. He helps, and then he's in it for himself slightly, and there you go. That's it. So it's not this huge undertaking.
Again, I'm not dancing around anything, but I don't want to give too much away to Shane. But did they say? Did he kill the wrong guy, and that's why he was in custody? Because I missed that part. Like,
I think it was wrong place, wrong time. He was like 18.
I believe that,
and that's it. Yeah, that's about it.
Okay, good enough.
So They tried to paint him as not as bad as he seemed at some point, but it all does the job. He's good.
Yeah,
and he's fucking Luke Cage. So he's intimidating. He, gets to kill people. That's what you want. And that's what you get. So enjoy. Shane, well, I would say, I don't know if you want to put grades on this, Chris, but I kind of want to throw it to Shane a little to be like, what makes you want to watch this movie so much? And you seem to be much more of a Gerard Butler expert, as we were talking off air. Like, I've seen Cop Shop, and outside of that, I think him post 300 is a little blurry for me.
It can be, but no, like you guys know, I'm very simplistic in my movies for the most part.
Yeah.
And again, this hits home for me, like 90s action. Gerard Butler can hold his own in that genre.
Yeah.
And I like Michael Coulter. I like Luke Cage. I want to see him in more projects. So he has that presence on screen. I feel like this would have been a Michael Clark Duncan. Do I got that right?
Yeah.
Michael Clark?
Yeah.
If he was still alive.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So, no, and you mentioned, and Gerard Butler did hit a really bad spot in his career post 300s with like Gods of Egypt. And
well, also the rom-coms, like where we thought for a minute there he could be funny. And I was like, you got that wrong.
And they got that really wrong. But like we talked off, Greenland, Cop Shop, Last Seen Alive, and now Plane, he's kind of on the upswing a little bit. So,
yeah,
I mean, these movies are right in my wheelhouse, and Den of Thieves as well. So I last couple years, to me, he's making, and this is a relative term, but quality movies, I would say.
Well, he knows who he is now. I think that means a lot, you know?
Yeah, based on his contemporaries in the same genre now, I think he's a little more on the uptick because he was, again, he was rough there for a while, man.
And I think the $12 million it made over the weekend kind of shows that. And honestly, as I was watching this movie, and other movies have kind of come up on streaming over the past couple of weeks as well, where you're just like, I don't know what movies should be in theaters versus streaming anymore. And I think this is a fine example of like, how did this not go straight to streaming? But I'm glad it didn't. Do you feel that, Chris?
Yeah, definitely feels like as you said last week, a red box feature. This is I'm surprised this was banked upon where they're saying, hey, it's good enough to be in the theater. It'll make its money and then some. And you're like,
you could tell it was
12 million?
A little cheaper shot, maybe. Like there was some budget stuff where you're like, oh, this isn't like big time blockbuster stuff, but at the same time, it has enough action and, stuff blowing up that you're like, oh, okay, cool. Like, I'm glad that they put at least that effort or they have somebody who knows what they're doing to make it look the part. But there were some scenes in there that, like, they did like an overhead shot of the plane in the air. And I was like, is that a model? Is someone just like holding that in the sky? Yep. Did someone just,
like the old Godzilla movies?
Yeah, like did they take like an action figure off the shelf at Walmart and just kind of go wee, like hold it over? But again, those were like few and far between. So I don't want to like besmirch the whole thing. But again, if we're putting scores on it, I think this is a straight up 3 out of 5 that was very enjoyable in my early afternoon on a Sunday.
I will go slightly lower and say 2.5 for me.
Okay.
But I listen, I don't want to put scores in Shane's mouth, but he would say 5 out of 5. This is right up
at
Shane's
least a 4
wheelhouse.
For Shane. It is, yeah.
Yeah. I just kept on watching it. I'm like, this is so Shane. This is Shane's movie.
Yeah.
But it's funny that they would put it in the theater for like these first time writers, and the director is, straight to video kind of director.
Well, he's a dirty Frenchman. That's what they did. No, yeah,
we.
Yeah. I didn't know much about him because a lot of those titles were all French as well. So.
When you, I was gonna say when you look them up, you're like, okay, who were they backing? Because it's not like he has this storied filmography.
Yes, this isn't Luc Besson or whatever, where it's some crossover that we're
Frenchman.
like, wow, yeah, yes.
But they did it. They got money that I hope they're happy with it.
Yeah.
And with me, it seemed like this is what am I watching? So yeah, 2.5 from me.
I'm just glad, like I was saying, that it's in the theater because I think why not? You know, you got a bankable star. It's a dead month. Entertain me. Bring in that classic old genre stuff. Just put some explosions on the screen. It seems to work for a lot of other genres, like the horror stuff. It seems like more horror's getting poured into the theaters because they realize it works. Which, to that end, I don't want to get us off track of the action. You guys watched Sick over the weekend, which was a Kevin Williamson written horror movie for Peacock that was exclusive. Part of me was like, I saw the trailer. I'm like, why isn't this in the theater? So I don't know, if it's, got that quality or whatever, but the trailer convinced me enough. And I would think it would have convinced enough people to like, if that's in the theaters for a couple weeks, why not? I might have watched that overplaying. I don't know if I was, trying to choose.
I think so.
So it's just an interesting time at the box office and the balance between that and the streaming. But let's get to the goods. Let's get to what we can look forward to for the rest of the year now that we've gotten Plane on the old belt. I've only seen a couple movies in 2023, but it's in my top 5 because I've seen like 3. So good on Plane. You're right there, but you're gonna hang in there. But let's get some categories out there. We got some fun stuff that we're gonna do. Like I said, we'll do the comic booky stuff. We'll do most anticipated Marvel and DC and all that. Most anticipated sequel. But let's do kind of like maybe the stuff that maybe is not the headliner stuff first. Okay, let's get to my favorite one that I love saying. Most anticipated Guy Ritchie movie. Because there's only 2, but I had to say, let's pick one and have some fun. I picked a movie that's I saw starting to trickle out into theaters, but it goes officially, I think, wide on Friday. That is Operation Fortune Ruse de Guerre, which is a wild name. And this movie,
French.
It went from like undated to like, hey, it's coming out in a month in like a blink. So I don't know what they're doing with this movie, STX and company, the release stuff, but this is a goddamn Guy Ritchie movie. Put some respect on his name, because I thought that in the last couple movies he's done, he's really come back to form. So I'm really all about it, especially when anytime there's Guy Ritchie and Jason Statham, it's required viewing. It's unreal. And obviously now adding in Guy Ritchie and Hugh Grant, I would also say that adds in, and this movie has both. So add in Aubrey Plaza, Josh Hartnett, Cary Elwes. It's got enough for me, and I'm all the way in. Did you guys choose this one, or did you choose his other film? Shane, we'll start with you.
I chose The Covenant. And
okay.
You know me. Yeah. I'm a big Guy Ritchie fan, like everyone here. But I went with I'm going with the Guy Ritchie, Jake Gyllenhaal pairing this time, because I'm curious to see how that's going to work out. And also you have Anthony Starr, a.k.a. Homelander, in here. And like
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, you don't really see him on the big screen that often. In fact, I've never really seen him on the big screen. So that's kind of piqued my curiosity a little bit more than the previously mentioned one, which I won't even try to pronounce that one.
Yeah, Ruse de Guerre is not up your
because that
alley.
Cast is deeper than the one I just put up there. But
yes.
I like Jake Gyllenhaal, and I want to see him in a more action genre, just like Ambulance, because he doesn't normally do that kind of thing. So yeah, curiosity's got me on this one.
Yeah, the only reason why I didn't pick this one is because like the plot reading for this one was like a mile long, and it has him going back and forth into a war zone and all that stuff. I was intrigued by it because it's basically like a lot of stuff that was going on in the news. It's very timely in terms of its plot construction, because it's like a soldier working side by side. I believe it's in Afghanistan.
Yes.
Where, he's working with a fellow Afghani in wartime. And when he leaves, they promised the Afghani soldier and his family that they would be taken out when the war was over. And then when they didn't, Gyllenhaal finds out and then goes back in and tries to do an extraction job, which great. Excellent. That sounds cool. But when I was reading it, I was just like, good Lord, can we get the bumper sticker version of this? Like what is going on? But I'm in on that too. I'm in on both these movies because, like I said, Guy Ritchie has been killing it. Chris, which one did you choose?
I chose Operation Fortune because it was brought to my attention that this was his next movie.
Right.
And then for some reason it was taken off the schedule. And then
Right.
I heard it's because the main antagonist is Ukrainian. So apparently you can't, label anybody with semi-allies of the U.S.
Yeah. Well, during wartime and all that stuff
But it's a problem. It's like, back in the 80s, it used to be, hey, China was a problem and Russia's a problem.
Yeah.
Now it's just like, oh, you can't do that because China's a market, so you can't have the bad guy be Chinese.
Right.
Or really any Asian,
right.
For whatever PC reason. But it's just like, if it warrants the story, keep it. And,
Right.
I'm sorry, you're not going to get the money from Eastern Europe. Maybe you'll recoup it elsewhere.
Which
But-
again, a lot of those theaters weren't open because they're all destroying themselves at the moment anyway. So I don't know if any of that's changed, but yeah, I mean it's tough with all that anyway. So yeah, maybe you won't get a lot of PVOD sales or whatever when they finally start to pick up the pieces later on. But I feel for it. That is a tough situation, but I guess they felt comfortable enough now to at least release it in the U.S. I don't know if it's like wide, like global or how they're going to pitch that. But either way, I want to see it. I thought the trailer looked fun. I liked the cast.
Yes.
You're talking about, International Intelligence Agency and the and MI6 combo stuff, which and also a new weapons technology that's deadly that they have to get out of the wrong hands. It's all the Mad Libs, enter action movie plotline stuff a little bit, but it's just so slickly done because it's Guy Ritchie and it has the right people in it that I think it could work. So, and right now, because it's people have sort of seen it, Letterboxd has it as a 3 out of 5. So, we'll see. It should be at least good enough, and maybe, in an action sense, a 3 out of 5 is a Shane 4.5. So, if you do the grading curve, I think it'll do just fine, at least on this podcast. Next category I want to do most anticipated non-IP or sequel action movie. Chris, we'll start with you on this one, buddy. What did you pick?
I'm going with the simply titled 65.
Yeah, I dig the trailer.
And I'm a as the kids call it, a stan for Adam Driver.
Yeah, sure.
I find that even in crap movies, he's always a standout.
Sure.
He's just a natural charisma on screen.
Yeah.
And I'm into sci-fi, whatever label you want to call it. I'm curious as to, how this will transpire with being 65 million years in the past.
Yeah. It feels like they were Jurassic World failed, so let's take advantage and make basically if Prey was in dinosaur land. Simple, we get to fuck up dinosaurs, or try to survive. And, because something has entered a territory that we think is unfamiliar, and then, it's Earth. So, yeah. So it's interesting, but you're right. I trust Adam Driver enough that I would hope that he didn't pick something that seemed god-awful on the page, and came and get out of its own way. To me, it seems fun enough in a sci-fi sense. I can't remember the last non-Jurassic dinosaur movie I saw.
My Science Project.
I was going to say the Guy Ritchie, not Guy Ritchie, Guy Pearce.
Okay.
Time Machine.
Yeah, Time Machine.
Time Machine.
Yeah.
That one?
Yeah,
They have
maybe.
dinosaurs in that one?
And that's a long time ago. I don't even remember. I remember it had a whole other race of humans or whatever that they go through. It's based on the H.G. Wells, but I don't remember dinosaurs, but it could have. It could have. Yeah, I remember they had that failed TV show on Fox, Terra Nova or something.
Oh, okay.
I think that's
Never
still
saw
on,
it.
buddy.
Oh, God. Wow.
I think. Unless
No,
I'm getting
it
that confused with another show.
No, it got canceled after one season.
Oh, it did?
No,
Okay.
That was 1991. What are you talking about, Shane? No.
I don't know. There's
No,
a
I don't-
CBS show on where it's there's wild animals all over the place. It's still going on right now, and I thought that's when you were talking about.
I don't know enough to correct you, so I'm going with the joke.
Huh.
Andrew's looking it up.
I am. Yeah, no, this that was back in 2011, and it had 13 episodes. It got its half a season, whatever run, and then immediately canceled because I think it was so expensive, but nobody watched it that it was like, all right, we got to stop this now. So yeah, that wasn't that good a show. I didn't mind that it got canceled. So, but that was the last time I remember somebody like attempting dinosaurs without attaching it to some level of an IP. Or a Whoopi Goldberg. You know what I mean? Like, that's probably the last time I remember dinosaurs, working out. But yeah, 65, I'm in. I like I said, I saw the trailer. I'm good. Shane, what did you choose for this category?
Well, I thank God you gave me a couple ideas because I was really blanking on this one. And it's a movie we mentioned last year coming out, but it's Havoc.
Yeah, it's my choice.
Because two actors, really one, my prison boyfriend, Tom Hardy.
Yeah.
And then Timothy Oliphant. You pair them two up with Gareth Evans, who does amazing action. And the description of this movie kind of has raid elements in it. So I'm all over this one, buddy.
Yeah, it has all the Shane buzzwords. And as you mentioned, Gareth Evans being the creator of the Raid movies. Plus, when he's outside of that universe, he's not bad either. I liked Apostle quite a bit, too. So even when he's doing ultra-violent action movies, that's fine. But I'm glad he's back to what he kind of like. I wrote this up in my article on what's on Netflix for like top 5 most anticipated Netflix originals coming up. And the way I put it was Gareth Evans kind of like change action for everybody with the Raid movies. Like, how much did we see like the close quartered, handheld stuff that like ultra violent in like Daredevil or even Extraction or some of these other ones who were all like aping his style, but not exactly doing it to the point of what the Raid was because it was just so crazy. But and then there are people, disciples of his that went on to do kind of similar things, but he's the OG. He's the guy. And I like him doing this. It's also interesting to see him doing he was doing all those movies in Indonesia or Thailand, somewhere around there. So American movies, he hasn't done a ton. He's a Welshman or whatever. And this is the first really kind of stepping into that zone. So this has all the buzzwords for Shane, drug deal gone wrong, hard-boiled detective, deep web of corruption and conspiracy where he takes on a rescue mission of a politician's son. It's all there. It's got all the makings. And like you said, it's so funny that they're actually remaking The Raid, which makes me so mad. For Netflix, that I'm just like, good. Gareth Evans can show that he could do something awesome while he's making his money having somebody remake his movie poorly, probably. So I'll take that. Good on him for doing it. But yeah, Havoc is my choice too, for sure. Next category, most anticipated DC movie, because Lord knows that whole scene over there, especially before James Gunn kind of came through, they've changed people all the time over there, who's in charge and get rid of sequels. Who the hell knows what's going to come out from the movies that happened over there. But DC definitely has a bunch of movies that we thought were actually going to come out in 2022. They're now in 2023 and probably adding more. Chris, what did you pick out of the DC movie lineup?
Well, everyone knows that I'm not the biggest fan of DC.
Me neither.
Only because it's true. It's true. Only because they have so many characters that they can use, but they keep on going back to the well with Batman and Superman and rehashing old stuff. I want something new. Not Shazam or anything Shazam affiliated.
You're going to take my pick. I can feel it.
Am I? All right. Tell me, Shane, is your choice Blue Beetle?
Yes, exactamundo.
It is? I mean, I want something different. And, I seen stills of what he looks like, and I'm hoping that it translates well to a story and actually seeing the action on screen. But overall, like, stop rehashing. And I'm not putting any wagers on the Flash and what is going on with that side of things. That I just want something simple and a new character, Blue Beetle.
Yeah. Do you have any like insight on the character? Because I don't know much about Blue Beetle before they greenlit this movie.
He's a Latino who I think started off, I want to say, as a bad guy, but then changed his affiliation, and he's paired off in comics with a character by the name of Booster Gold,
Okay.
and that's as much as I know. And,
He's also sorry to cut you off.
No,
he's also
please,
been paired up with Teen Titans in a lot of the newest like animated movies that come out. Like he's part of that team now.
Okay.
So I've seen him there, and I don't want to jump all over Chris's stuff, but I'll let you.
Please. I said what I said.
We can knock out the 2-for-1 right here.
Yeah.
It's exactly why I picked this too. I want something new and fresh, and about a character I know little about. Just based on what I've seen with cartoons. I'm tired of the Aquamans and the Flashes and Shazam and all that stuff, and I just want something new that I don't know anything about. So,
yeah,
great minds think alike, Chris.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, if I knew more about that, maybe I'd be right there lockstep with you guys. Also, Shane, you and I, buddy, we love ourselves some Cobra Kai. But I will say, the person who doesn't impress me a whole lot in Cobra Kai is unfortunately the lead in Blue Beetle. So that is where I kind of am divided on, is this going to work or not? Because I haven't seen him be much in films, let alone something big and blockbustery. So that is where I kind of get a little frozen in that pick. But I'll say my pick just because you guys keep shitting on it, so I'll just throw it out there. Shazam! Fury of the Gods is what I picked. Understandably so, that this trailer isn't the greatest. But you know what invigorated me about it? Is when I took my kids to the movies. And my 6-year-old son, of all the things, was like, once Shazam went through, he was laughing. He's going through it. Maybe we're just old fogies who don't give a shit or don't have the heart that this movie truly does. It's fun. The first one was so fun. I really liked the first Shazam, and I will not apologize for it. It's fucking big and a comic book movie combined. I don't care. Great. Excellent.
What does your age appropriate child know?
Exactly. Yeah. I'm sorry your daughter is now 8 going on 48 where she's just watching all the bloody violent stuff or whatever and asking
When's the
for
new
more.
Spawn? Sweetie, please. No.
But yeah, I'm in on this because I just think it's got a charm and a funness that the DC movies just don't have. So, like, in the same vein of what you guys are saying about Blue Beetle, that you want something new, I got something new in Shazam, and I'm looking forward to the rest of it. So, I'll take that. It could blow up in my face. I don't care, because again, I don't fully care about DC much anyway, outside of the Batman franchise. So, Nolan or otherwise.
Yeah, I'm like you. I thought I had a good time with Shazam, the first one. I did. It had its flaws, but like you, I saw it, then I saw it with my kids, and they both really liked it. It was fun. It was funny. But I got to admit, like you said off the bat, the trailer just I cringed. I'm like, oh, God. I don't like all the other family members being Shazam as well. I think that's where that kind of throws me off.
Yeah. We'll see what kind of role he plays and all that. Because obviously, even though he's still, again, this whole young kid being old, whatever, like it kind of works for him that he has to be this de facto leader that can step up and really, edge into this kind of like a more advanced arc on the character. And I don't know how much mileage they got out of this. Is it going to be a one-hit wonder, so to speak, where Shazam, that charm, that him, doing the whole big thing works and then the rest of these movies won't? It's possible, but, I'm in. And if I get to take my son and it's enjoyable and Helen Mirren and Lucy Liu and a bunch of other kooks come out and get to play some fun villains. All right, let's do it. So we'll see.
I wasn't as much of a fan as you two, maybe of the first Shazam.
Mm-hmm.
But with Zachary Levi, man, he's always got a pass for me as Flynn Rider in Tangled. Other than that, I'm just like the bar was set too high with that.
Now
I
who's
just-
showing the
I-
girl dad energy, Chris?
Yeah. Hey, listen, I saw that before she was born.
Yeah.
I loved it, and I feel it's the best Disney movie ever.
Oof.
But there was something about it. Like, I don't know. It like, I only know Shazam from reference in comics. I've never read his comics. I had no expectations really
Yeah.
of the first film. But when Zachary Levi was cast as Billy Batson and Shazam, I was like, you couldn't find anybody else. Like, for him, he's just like, he's the guy. He's a massive presence. He's this dashing looking character that has the powers of Superman. And when you see Zachary Levi, you're like, that's
You mean Chuck?
missing the point.
Yeah.
It's sort of like it's Superman light, and I don't know. And in this one, it seemed like he's showing his age. He looks a little older in the face now, so I'm like,
Right.
I don't know how this is going to work on the long run. But
Yeah, he
Yeah.
almost feels like how John Krasinski transitioned to trying to be an action star, where it's like, is this going to work? He's more of like a long-haired goofball sitcom actor. Like, is that going to be a worthy transition? And some people could do it, some people can't. Like, for every A Quiet Place or whatever that I like from Krasinski, I never followed the Tom Clancy, Jack Ryan stuff with him. I never bought that. So, like, it depends on the role. This one, I think, kind of meets that mid-level where it feels more like a Chuck or something, so it felt more in line with what he's already been doing. So that's why I think it works, and hopefully it keeps working. But, would I be shocked if this thing is a big turd? No. But I hope it just adds one more movie or one more piece of all that for my son to go and want to watch more of these with me. So I'll take that too. The nice byproduct of that. Let's follow that up with most anticipated Marvel movie. As we were just before we came on air, the tickets went on sale for Quantumania, and I got all excited, which is weird because you were saying, Chris, like, it's odd that we're all like, are we really excited for Ant-Man 3? Like, would we if it didn't involve like the whole Kang thing? Like, what's going on there? But it's here and it's going to happen, and it's on the table if you guys wanted to choose it. Shane, I'll start with you though. What is your pick for most anticipated Marvel movie?
For me, it's this simple. It's so simple. It's Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse for me.
Oh, okay.
son of a bitch.
Yeah.
The first one was so damn good. I think it ended up being like number 2 of my favorite movies that year. So I'm trying to pull a Chris and not watch. I saw the intro trailer. It has the same vibes as the first one. And then I'm staying away. I'm just staying away because I want to be totally surprised.
Wise.
If this is as good as the first one, then Sony, or I guess it's Sony, hit another home run.
Yeah, Sony,
Because-
Lord and Miller, whoever you want to give attribution to, sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So that is my... Yeah, because it gets lost in the shuffle because it's not MCU. You know what I mean? It's not part of that connective tissue. So, but I still went with it anyway. So, Across the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, Chris, you could say your piece on it, but I kind of want to lean this to the live action side because we're kind of talking about all the other ones. It's definitely my most anticipated animated movie. That's like bar none. I love the first one. I'm all the way in. So, Chris, you could say your piece, but I actually want to know, like, Shane, if you had to pick one of the live action ones, where you would lean too.
If I had to pick a live action one, it would be Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Okay.
I have faith in James Gunn picking up the pieces after the set. No offense, but the second one was pretty bad. And I like the addition of the Adam Warlock character. I think there's going to have very emotional punches in this movie. So, and it's the last ride for Guardians. So, yeah, that's the one I would pick.
Yeah. Chris, what about you?
It's a good choice. I was just upset that I wasn't even thinking of Into the Spider-Verse or
Across
whatever
the Spider-Verse, yeah.
Across the Spider-Verse.
Yeah. You know that Beatles song from years ago.
Yeah, I immediately think of that as soon as I see that. Like, if they don't incorporate that in the movie in some kind of hip hop version, then they missed their mark.
How dare
But again, I saw that one trailer, and Shane's right. I will not see anything else. I don't want anything to be, taken away from my viewing of it. But my pick was the next Ant-Man, Quantumania.
Yeah.
When I heard Ant-Man was going to be incorporated into the live-action MCU, I was like, really? Ant-Man? How are they going to do that?
Yeah.
And because the Avengers already had came out, right? I believe,
Yeah.
and then Ant-Man.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I was just like, wait a minute, Ant-Man is one of the founders of the Avengers. How are they going to do this?
Yeah.
And they did it well with the third Ant-Man, Scott Lang, and Paul Rudd is just charming as ever.
Yeah.
And he hooked me. And it was a simple story. I loved it from day one. And
Yeah.
then Ant-Man and the Wasp, they just continued with that story, and I enjoyed that immensely. So with this third one coming, I'm like, I'm all in. Even if they told me nothing about it and they just said, hey, everyone's coming back from the first two except T.I., sorry,
Yeah.
then I'm all in. And with this one, it's the one of the movies to start phase 5.
Yeah.
And if we can put phase 4 into the rear view, then
Sure.
I'm all for it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this one, and I don't have long to wait. February.
Yeah. No.
Right?
Few weeks. 3 weeks. I think it's like post Valentine's Day weekend.
16th,
something like
17th,
that.
or something like that.
So yeah, we don't have long to wait at all. Yeah, it's so interesting, this franchise. When I was so mad that I didn't get my Edgar Wright version of Ant-Man,
Sure.
that I had to really swallow my pride to even see Ant-Man in the first place. And the one nice thing is that I do find them very enjoyable, charming, fun. Like, it's outside of Guardians, like, it's that kind of same kind of just light, like, repeatable fare that I think is just so welcomed in this universe. And I like the fact that they get the continuity of direction too, with Peyton Reed doing all of them. So we'll see. And especially Peyton Reed got out of that universe to do some of the Mandalorian episodes too, and he did a great job on that too. So he's keeping sharp, doing big things, and I think there's so much riding on Quantumania that it has to be good if you're, Marvel and the MCU and Disney and trying to move this stuff forward. But even though I dig it, and I've seen all the updated trailers and everything else, I'm in. But the one thing that it makes me a little sad is that it doesn't seem to be having as much fun as like Ant-Man and the Wasp and Ant-Man and stuff like that, to where, because it's getting folded into the bigger storyline now, where, Ant-Man and the Wasp did a little, mostly at that very end. It wasn't this overwhelming thing. Now this is full force Kang. So, maybe they weren't going to get a third one if it wasn't, folded in like this. But that's the only thing where I'm like, yeah, I'm looking forward to it very much so. But is it going to still have some of that kind of fun to it that we hoped for, that kind of charm that isn't in like just the first 10 minutes before they get in the quantum realm,
Yeah. Hopefully, cross fingers.
Yeah.
No, I thought that same thing. Real quick, I'm sorry, but I
Sure.
the first act is gonna be, I think it's gonna be the jokey, blah, let's have some fun, and then the last, second, third act is gonna be the emotional action punches that we're gonna see. So, like, that was a good point, because I was thinking the same thing.
And for how much, I don't know how much more mileage we're all gonna get out of worrying about the blip, the snap, the time element, and all this. And this movie has a lot of that. So I don't know how much how much mileage is still left on that, how much meat is still on that bone. So we'll see. Hopefully it's good. If I remember correctly, thank goodness, everybody should be, kissing Peyton Reed on the mouth, maybe with a little tongue. It's not that long of a movie, and it's setting up a very big thing. So it's only, I think, a little over 2 hours. So... Wow,
That's
for an
short
MCU movie. Yeah.
for MCU, yeah.
Yeah. So that guy smooches. I'll be sending him a Valentine's Day bouquet if he can keep all the MCU movies that short going forward. So yeah, I'm in on that as well. But my pick was to align with Shane with Guardians 3. You have the full cast coming back. I miss these guys regardless. Like you said, Guardians 2 didn't fully work for me. But even with how that movie not working on a full level, I still got to see a lot of Kurt Russell. I still got to get the Mary Poppins y'all meme thing that went around. I would still, die for that moment. So even when they're not that good, they're so good in some regards. So this movie, I hope, again, last ride, a lot of emotion, a lot of good stuff. Coming off the holiday special, which we all enjoyed. So I'm all the way in on that as well. Adam Warlock getting a bigger role, it seems, here. Adding in other actresses, Elizabeth Debicki, who I like, and Maria Bakalova is added to the cast. So should be an interesting film. The original trailer, I have some questions. How we're getting certain characters back in the fold or what role they play or any of these things. But all will come to pass. We're going to get this, I believe, my birthday weekend, that first week of May, they like to pop movies in. So, again, not that long of a wait, but, hopefully it comes back to form because the first Guardians is one of, if not my favorite MCU movie of all because it's just so damn fun. And I love this cast. So let's hope for that. And let's get to our last category, which has a lot of options outside of all the superhero stuff. Most anticipated sequel. Which I don't know if you guys snuck in a comic book movie on this one. That was, surely up for grabs. But Shane, what'd you pick for this one, buddy? Most anticipated sequel.
This one's easy for me as well. John Wick 4.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I love the John Wick series, even though the third one got ridiculous, like even more ridiculous for John Wick series. So it kind of left a little sour taste in my mouth the last 5 minutes of the third one.
Okay.
But I got to see the conclusion of this. I mean, it put Keanu Reeves back on the map. He's one of my favorite actors. You get new guys. Donnie Yen's in this one, who is fantastic martial artist and can carry action as well.
Yeah.
You got Bill Skarsgård in here. And I think it comes out in March, so it's right around the corner. So give me some Keanu Reeves and John Wick 4, baby.
Yeah, the trailer was all over the front of Plane, as you can imagine, because they're selling it hard to that audience. But I got to say, Shane, I've seen the first John Wick, and I haven't seen 2 and 3. How would you power rank them, and do I need to watch them in order, especially if I'm leading into 4?
It's funny you say that because to me, it goes right in orders. The first one, second, third, and we'll see where this last one ends.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they all kind of do tie into each other a little bit, so it would benefit of you watching the second and third one.
Yeah. Because, I can't understand how many times they've reanimated his dog and then killed it again. I mean, how many times? It's just a brutal thing to do. I don't know why this guy's still so angry. I got to find out. Chris, what did you pick for most anticipated sequel?
So it's low-hanging fruit, but I'm going to go with Mission Impossible number
Dead Reckoning Part 1.
What are we on, 8, 9?
I think it's
how many
8.
missions?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Am I question mark?
Yeah. I'm so glad you chose this. Please do.
I'm just curious. Listen, the last couple, Fallout was the last one, right?
Yes.
And prior to that was, I'm blanking, but the last two,
not
Rogue Nation.
Rogue Nation. That's what it was. I really don't know what the plot was. I think it was a little convoluted for my taste. It does, but that's the thing. Does it matter? So when Tom is back in action again, it's a sight to see. It's like, what's going to happen? Is he going to hurt himself? Is he at 60 something going to finally shed this mortal coil and join Xenu on the other plane?
Right.
Time will tell.
As I say, here's the question you have to answer yourself. What is the over-under on how many sprinting Tom Cruise scenes are we going to see in Mission Impossible?
All of them.
Many.
I'm going with 3.
Yeah.
I'm going over on that one.
Yeah, you have to. And already, the trailer that came out, it's impressive enough. You got him, going over his skis off a motorcycle over a cliff. He's just writing things down that he's probably seen some little kid playing with toys, just going wee, just throwing things. He's like, I'm gonna just do that.
Yeah.
So he's got to do everything short of probably going to space. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
Timmy's in second grade, and he's our stunt coordinator.
Yeah. I was so close to picking this, but here's my reasoning for not. Yeah. I thought Fallout was so damn good. It feels like Fallout's going to be the MI version of Skyfall, and then be immediately like, you can't top that. Try your hardest, but you just can't. So the trailer didn't grab me enough in terms of like the plot or what's actually going on. Yeah. Where I thought Fallout had everything. It had like probably one of their best scripts, on top of adding in Henry Cavill and a bunch of other like fun characters and this ticking clock of things that I thought was really good. So and the what was it, the Halo jump thing and everything, like just stuff it feels like you can't repeat or you can't advance on too much. But I'm gonna love it. I'm gonna be there front row center when it comes out. But I just felt like there was just one other one that I just can't shake that I didn't pick it. But I'm right with you there.
Oh, do tell.
Oh, I know. It's Fast 10.
No.
Oh, sorry, Fast X.
Yeah, Fast X. Yeah. Which sounds like a diet program or something. I don't know. But no, I'm not in there. I'm not going to space. I'm not doing any of that stuff. I'm not joining in on that parade. Though I love the behind-the-scenes drama. That's probably my favorite part of the whole Fast series at this point. I picked Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. And I will say, this is as a person who did not like Crystal Skull, much like the rest of the world. And the only reason why I'm back in is basically I trust James Mangold, because he had Logan and Ford versus Ferrari as his last two, let alone his other stuff like Walk the Line and whatever else you want to choose. Stuff that he's really good. Sorry?
Copland.
Yeah.
310 to Yuma, Copland.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm in on all those, and he misses rarely, but at least he's interesting whenever it goes on. And then the other part of this is Phoebe Waller-Bridge. She's a great writer, and she seems to fit into this world. She's going to be in the film as well, and I just dig it. I don't know if they're going to make her some heir apparent or however they're doing this thing. I don't really care, but I think she knows what she's doing. She helped some with the Bond franchise, and now I think this is a logical next step for her to work on this as well. Add in Mads Mikkelsen and bring in some other people from the Indiana Jones previous films that's going to come back for the last ride for Harrison Ford. Do you think
not so fast, Shia?
Yeah, get out of here. But yeah, so hopefully it just gives me enough of the vibe and gives me a worthy sequel. Because if you're going to bring, Harrison Ford back into this and do some de-aging stuff that makes me kind of give a little bit of a cringe factor, because I never really liked that, but hopefully it's just enough going back in his history and doing all that. Do I think that we needed this? Absolutely not. But as soon as I saw the trailer, I was like, all right, you got me. So I'm hoping that it's worthy of the name of Harrison Ford and Indiana Jones, and I'm going to see it. I didn't think I was going to say that. Before the trailer came out, I was like, fuck that. But they nailed it, I thought.
I will say James Mangold has a definite kind touch to men in their twilight years.
Sure.
And I feel like he's going to do well with that side of it. I don't know how 80-year-old Harrison Ford is going to be as mobile, as action-packed as he wants to be. It's a wait and see. I don't have a lot of my faith being put in the movie, but I definitely want to see it when it comes out. Even though Crystal Skull left quite the poor taste in all our mouths.
Yeah.
But except for Mike Field, he's the only one who raves about it, defends it to this day, and I still don't know why. Still don't know.
We just lost our association with Forgotten Entertainment. Good job, Chris.
They're going in April anyways.
Yeah.
What do we care?
My hope is that Mangold is so good with bringing back aging stars in their twilight that he starts producing this podcast next, because we're all on the back nine ourselves and could use some help. So
Nope.
That's my hope.
Front forward, buddy.
Yeah.
Front forward.
But good job, guys. I think we covered the action scene as it is. Is there anything we didn't mention that you're like, I wish it fit into a category that you're just like, I got to talk about this?
No, I went through. Actually did a little bit of research, and
Good for you,
nothing
buddy.
else. Yeah, I know. Though I will say, because I was going to mention this, but it didn't have. It said 2023, but it also said TBA, which is The Killer. Outside of having a Guy Ritchie come back, we're having a little Michael, as I pronounce his last name, Fassbender come back.
Yeah.
He's in multiple movies in 2023. The Killer is, I think I'm saying that right, is a David Fincher project.
It is, yeah.
So, yeah,
that was my number one in my article, yeah, for Netflix.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that one too, but I forgot to mention it.
Yeah, I took that as more of a crime drama, so I didn't put in the action stuff. Otherwise, 100%, I would have squeezed this in there under the non-IP stuff. Although, again,
Right.
It's based on a graphic novel, but nobody has read the French graphic novel that it's based on, I'm sure. I'm into...
You're wrong, sir. I read both volumes. No kidding.
I'm into Kraven the Hunter. If I see a good trailer, I will be into that. Aaron Taylor Johnson, who might be the next James Bond. That's your boy,
Love that guy.
Tom Hardy Light, Shane?
Yeah,
Right?
love that guy. Yep.
So between that, Ariana DeBose, Russell Crowe's in it, Christopher Abbott. So a lot of people I like. So we'll see if that works out. And I know this is so weird. There's a lot of like IP stuff that we never touched upon. But like we have that Dungeons and Dragons movie doesn't look like shit, and I don't know why I'm into it at all. Not to mention
factor.
I know. I guess it's just just enough fun that I'm like, this could be dumb, but it'll be dumb fun. There's gonna be a new Hunger Games movie. There's a new Creed movie. There's Dune 2, which I wasn't a giant fan of the first. I thought it was a little bland for my taste and for how long it was. So we'll see. And then there is the messiness of the Flash that I don't care about it whatsoever, but man, it might add more drama into my life that will be kind of fun. But and then Extraction 2, I did like the first one. I'm hoping they have a better plot line this time, something that grabs me a little bit more. But, I will say that
Palat?
Yeah. Sam Hargrave knows what he's doing with action. He came from the MCU side, and the first Extraction was his proof of concept. So, hey, just blow more shit up. Have fun.
He's got a magnificent beard, too.
Yeah. So, to me, just bring more of that. There's no other real stars in that one. I'm surprised they didn't add anybody as like kind of an additional, either villain or something that has more of a high profile, but maybe there's something to add. But that movie is definitely coming out this year. But that's about it for me. I don't know if you guys had anything else on the brain.
Nope.
No. All right.
Nope.
So that'll do it for our 2023 most anticipated action films. Go see Plane. Give it a little bit more than that $12 million box office, which is still surprisingly better than a bunch of other movies, like all of the Oscar movies probably at this point. It feels like anyway, outside of like Maverick and some of the other, and Avatar. But, hopefully we get a big year of shit blowing up, big time guys, stabbing people in the neck, ripping some throats, less dead dogs, and a good time at the movie theater, because that's what I want. And even though some of these, I hope, for the Netflix side, I'd love it if I could see Havoc on the movie theater screen, but I don't think we will. But great job by you guys. I think we covered all our bases. Be sure to like, subscribe, review, all the stuff with this podcast. Come back next week for more recent activity.